I want to see if I can build this LEGO McLaren P1 in less than 24 hours. It is officially 8 minutes past 3 on the 30th of October, which means that I have until 8 minutes past 3 on the 31st of October to put 3,893 pieces together and create the LEGO McLaren P1. So that is a lot of instruction manual to get through in 24 hours. So the reason I'm building this P1 today is because I've drawn all 4 of the other large LEGO Technic supercars, and in order to draw these cars, I need the model in order to photograph it, and then I draw from this photograph. So if you'd like to see this drawing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get straight into building the LEGO McLaren P1. So I obviously started on box number 1, I took out all the bags and then ordered them with 10 at the bottom and 2 at the top. And I could then start on bag number 1. There you go, this is the result at the end of bag 1. It's looking pretty good, we've got some suspension going on, and it is currently 41 minutes past 3. So moving into bag 2, and this is where we added in the exhaust system. There you go, that is bag 1 and 2 done in less than an hour of starting. So moving into bag number 3. I just want to quickly stop because look, we have a wing mechanism at the back. Oh my goodness, the little things of excitement in life. So it actually turns out that when I showed you that wing mechanism earlier, you can see here that this bit comes up, but that shouldn't actually do that. So these bits should connect with that. So I kind of missed that out. So this is kind of my first mistake of the build. I'm sure there'll be many more. So now you can see that these black slidey bits are now going to come up with the wing and keep it from coming back there. And before we move on to bag 4, it is now 4:24. So bag number 4 is the gearbox and is actually separate from the part that we've just been working on. And as you can probably imagine, the gearbox has a lot of different cogs to absolutely frazzle my brain. So that's the end of bag 4. We have quite a bit of gear action going on, but I've encountered a bit of a problem because we have a cog and that shouldn't be spare. So looking at the image, there, right, problem solved. And it is currently 4:52. So after finishing off this bag, we'll officially be halfway through the first box. However, I know progress is good at the moment, but as I get a bit tireder, if that's even the word, mistakes will start to happen and it will all kind of fall apart. So bag 5 was basically just putting some more stuff onto the gearbox, and it was actually really surprising how many new pieces LEGO had created in order to make this gearbox possible. So I'm just coming to the end of pack 5 here, and I've just noticed that these arrows here don't actually align with the instructions, so I've got to take some stuff apart and make that right. But lucky it was just a case of pulling this out and then swiveling it around and then pushing it back in. But yeah, close call, and on to pack number 6, after putting on the remaining cogs. A quick time check, it is 5:24. The bag 6 was basically putting the joining part on the gearbox that will eventually connect it to the rear axle. So yeah, bag 6 was a pretty quick one. It is currently 5:38, and I think it's time to move on to doing the engine in bag 7. And I think it's really cool how they've used transparent engine bits so you can actually see the pistons moving. So I'm around halfway through bag 7, and it's now time to join the thing that we did in the first few bags with this cool dense slab of gearbox. How are we doing this? Bollocks. Boom! And once that was done, I just finished off the bag. So this is the result after bag 7. This is officially a dense slab of Lego, and it still kind of blows my mind just how complex these like Technic cars are. And at the moment, it is 6:05. And by the looks of it, we're going to be doing the hybrid mode, the E mode, and the interior in the upcoming bags. But just before I get on to doing that, I'm just going to go and grab some dinner to fuel me through a probably very long night of building some Lego. So I have returned from my dinner break at 6:29, and it's time to start on bag number 8. And this bag feels kind of heavy, so let's get straight into it. So bag 8 was just putting in like the gear stick thing that allows you to switch between neutral, E mode, and hybrid mode. So we are now approaching 7 o'clock, and we can now go into bag number 9. And in bag 9, I added in the seats and also the flappy paddles that would allow me to shift between all 7 of the gears. So just like that, we can now move into the final bag from this box, number 10. And I know what you're thinking, well, he's just spent about 4 hours just doing one box, and there's only 3 boxes in this entire set. Now, you need to remember that on all 4 of the other Big Technic cars, I've actually made a mistake that has cost me quite a few hours, having to like go back and break it and fix it. So that might still happen. This challenge is not over yet, and there are still 2 boxes and 1 bag left to go. And in bag 10, we basically made our way to the front, and it was interesting to see just how long the model would be. So something that's kind of puzzling my brain at the moment is on the instructions it's saying that if you kind of move these paddles here, that the bits back here change, so like gear changes and stuff. But the thing is, yes, it does move, but it is very stiff, because when I move this cog back here, it all moves really fluidly. So I don't know whether it is correct. It's quite stiff on this flappy paddle bit here. But at the end of the day, I'm not exactly going to be like playing with it and putting a motor on it. It's just going to be on the shelf, so I'm not too bothered. So yeah, let's continue. And the final part of bag 10 was adding in some of the details of the dashboard. So this right here is the result after box number 1. It is currently 9 minutes past 8, and it is now time to move on to box number 2. So box 2 only has 8 bags, however, we have panel bits. And just like with the first box, I put the bags back in the number order so I could just one by one work through them. So box 2 starts with doing the door mechanisms, and if this is anything like doing the Ferrari Daytona door or the Lamborghini Scion door, there is lots of room for error here, so we may experience some major setbacks in these mechanisms. So yeah, that's bag 11 finished, and we do actually have a bit of the door mechanism, so I'm going to try and show you here. It comes up, and then this spring at the back here kind of folds it in, so or holds it in even, but that is looking pretty cool at the moment. So yeah, it's 8:52 and time to move on to bag number 12. And in bag 12, we got our first glimpse of some of the papaya panels. So there you go, that was the end of bag 12. It is now 9:22, and we've also just finished off the first booklet. So it's time to move on to bag 13 and booklet number 2. So let's be honest, this probably isn't going to take me the entire 24 hours. So I'm going to set myself a new goal of trying to finish it before 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I reckon I should shut up and get straight to it. So bag 13 started off by looking at the front suspension. However, I kind of ran into a bit of a problem. Just like that, we have a big boo-boo. I don't think that this cog is supposed to be there, because I tried to put this piece over here, and obviously that's not going to happen, because you can see there that that cog is very much in the way. So it's time to go back on ourselves and see where this blue cog is actually supposed to go. Time to take some stuff apart. So this needs to come off. That doesn't sound good. Right, boom, that's now in. And then we can reverse engineer what we've already done and stick it all back together. And boom, that is problem solved. And I'm glad to say that I finished off bag 13 with no more issues. So it is just past 10 o'clock, and this is the result after bag 13, and we officially have working steering. Look at that. So bag 14 wasn't the most interesting bag, it was just adding in a bit of bulk to the front of the car. So here you go, this is the result after bag 14, and I think in the next coming bags, we're gonna start to add a bit more of the panel work around, because I think most of the internal stuff is now accounted for. And we're currently sitting at 10:30, meaning we have 2.5 hours to reach the 1 o'clock goal. So bag 15 was definitely a bit more interesting than 14, as we worked on the roof. So in bag 16, we're gonna start on the front bonnet and the headlight, and it is currently 10:51 p.m. So this is the result after bag 16. We got quite a bit of the curvature at the front of the car in, as you can see there. And yeah, I want to get straight into bag 17 to try and get to my 1 o'clock goal. So at the moment, it is 11:15. So bag 17 was probably one of my favorite bags so far, as we started to add in the headlights and some of the curvature in the front with the panels and stuff. But it was starting to dawn on me that 1 o'clock was approaching very quickly. So I have just over an hour left. So I'm just gonna put my head down now and just get this done. So I definitely put the burners on by powering through bag 18, where I did the bonnet, and bag 19, where I did the front door. But yeah, there was just so many fiddly bits in here that it was just impossible to get it done by 1 o'clock, and there was just still so much more to do. So I think that maybe 1 o'clock was a bit ambitious, because it is now 10:01, and as you can see here, I still have quite a bit left to go. So I thought, you know what, I'll just show you the cool door mechanism. If I just kind of push this bit in here, look at that, pretty damn cool. So the next thing to do is the other door. So as I said earlier, because I'm getting tireder, which I'm not sure is actually a word, I don't get why I keep saying that, but yeah, I've made a bit of a mistake, because this little pin bit here should actually be in this hole here, so you get a pin that can go from here all the way down into here. And once I did that, I could finish off the door, and then in bags 21 and 22, I could do the cover for the back of the car. So now, over 9 hours since I put the first 2 pieces together, it is time to start on the final bag, number 23. And all that was left to do was to add on some more panels, stick the wheels on, and also build the bag. So I started building this car at 3:10 on the 30th of October, and it is now almost 3 o'clock in the morning on the 31st of October, meaning just shy of 10 hours worth of building. So if you'd like to see me draw this McLaren, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you in the next video, which should appear somewhat on screen around about now.